Sophie Cunningham, in the post-game interview, speaks on this team and the islands within the locker room. Let's take a listen right here.
Don't know who's playing. And so there's just a lot of distractions, but I think that's really good for us. Let's go through the adversity early. Let's learn from it. Good news is we're not going to peak too early. So, I mean, that's a positive.
How do you bond and stay together during this rough patch?
Yeah. I think so far this season we've had a lot of distractions, you can call it, some injuries.
Sophie Cunningham just exposed what's tearing the Indiana Fever apart. She dropped this shocking truth. We have our own islands. What does that even mean? And how did this team, once so united, break apart into factions with names like Tres Leches Island and Social Justice Warrior Island? Get ready to find out who's on which side and why this chaos is ripping their season apart.
But I think it's not an excuse. Everyone's playing a back-to-back. Everyone has this kind of rough schedule. For us, we get another opportunity tomorrow, and we got to capitalize on it. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent, and we got to lean on each other. And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands. Dallas is a team that's hungry for a win. And we talk about this. We are circled on everybody's schedule. Everyone, no one likes us, right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on.
Before we move on, I'd like to ask you a small favor. If you appreciate this content, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Over 98% of you watch the videos without subscribing. It costs you nothing, but it makes a huge difference to us. So did you click the subscribe button? Great. Thank you so much. Now, back to the video.
Can't happen, or if they do, then we need to be scoring 35, 36, 37 points. So we just got to be better from top to bottom. But the schedule thing, that's it. As one of the leaders on the team, I got to do a better job of grouping people, right? In the fourth, it's going to kill us, right? Like they scored 35 points, I think you guys said. That just cannot happen.
But surrounding Caitlin and Aaliyah and Kelsey with the right people is more important. But the number one thing that each one of those players said when we got the job and we started free agency was take care of our locker room.
Sophie Cunningham didn't mince words when she said, "We have our own islands." That single line paints a picture of a locker room split into pieces instead of united like a team should be. At first, the term sounds almost playful, but once you dig deeper, it reveals just how divided the Fever have become. The islands she's describing, they're more like factions, and they're tearing this team apart. Let's talk about the so-called Tres Leches Island. This group, featuring Cunningham herself, Caitlin Clark, and Lexi Hull, stands out as the most dominant. On the surface, their bond seems like a positive thing. They share meals, they work out together, and they even celebrate off the court. But the closeness of this trio has inadvertently created a barrier. It's not that they're actively shutting others out, but when they're always together, choosing their own game strategies and even setting the tone during practice, it creates an air of exclusivity.
And I think that we've kind of wavered a little bit on that. We have our own islands, but,
We got to get better at that. We waver at that. We need to get consistent. We have our own little islands in the locker room. So you know what I did, folks? You did a shit job at that. What did Sophie Cunningham say again?
Right? So everyone in our locker room, that's the only type of people that we have that we can lean on. And we got to be better in that area. We have got to stay disciplined. We have to stay focused. We need to get consistent.
And what are these islands going on in this locker room, right? What are the islands going on in the locker room? So the first island, we have Tres Leches Island. Tres Leches Island. We got Lexi, we got Sophie, and we have Caitlin Clark.
Slowly, that vibe has fostered an us versus them feeling with other players who are left out of the circle. Then there's the group Cunningham calls the Rock and Hard Place Island. These players are stuck, juggling their loyalty to the leadership that was there before, while also grappling with this new identity the team is trying and failing to form. You can see it on the floor. Missed rotations, players hesitating like they don't know how to communicate.
The president of Tres Leches Island. These three are on the same page. These three are on the same page. Caitlin Clark, the leader. Lexi Hall following suit, Sophie Cunningham,
and breakdowns that come from second-guessing each other. It's the kind of dysfunction that makes every close game feel unwinnable. Finally, we have what some call the Social Justice Warrior Island, led by Brianna Turner. Turner's intense focus on making a broader impact off the court has created tension within the team. For some players, basketball comes first and always will. For others, it's about balancing priorities. But the misalignment here runs deep, making it even harder for the Fever to find common ground. These groups barely talk, and when they try to, the effort feels forced. That miscommunication is showing up in games too, especially in those dreadful fourth quarters. The bigger question is, how did it get this bad? Stephanie White came into the offseason with big promises. She said unity would be the priority, that the team would be built around a foundation of trust and chemistry. The plan sounded good, on paper, but what we're seeing right now? It's nothing like what White promised. Instead, the Fever locker room feels fractured, chaotic, and completely void of the leadership it so desperately needs. Let's start with Dana Bonner. Before her departure, Bonner was the glue. She wasn't just a veteran presence. She was the player who bridged generational gaps, the one who understood the importance of keeping players connected on and off the court. Her absence has left a vacuum, and White's failure to address that void is glaring. Rather than stepping up to fill that leadership gap, both White and her coaching staff have struggled to maintain any sense of balance. Team-building activities? Nowhere to be found. It's like the personal connections within the team were left to fix themselves. This lack of cohesion is showing up in games too, especially in the most crucial moments. The breakdowns are hard to miss. Take the Fever's painfully blown lead against the Sparks last week. Defensive rotations were all over the place, players not trusting the system, looking hesitant to act. These aren't just random mistakes. They're signs of a much deeper issue. When trust within the system is this low, you can almost see the team unravel in real time. Sophie Cunningham didn't hold back when discussing the team's focus issues. She said, point blank, "You can't trust the process when the process isn't clear." That's not just a dig at the players, it's a direct jab at the coaching staff. White's inability to manage these personalities or create a clear vision for how everyone fits into the bigger picture is becoming impossible to ignore. Add to that a front office that seems indifferent to the chaos. And it's no wonder these islands of division keep growing. Right now, Stephanie White finds herself at the center of it all. If she doesn't take control soon, this season won't just be lost. It'll go down as a complete collapse of leadership. The Fever's season isn't just about basketball. It's about who they are as a team. Sophie Cunningham's Islands comment isn't just a metaphor. It's a spotlight on the fractures that are holding this roster back. Isolation, distrust, and competing priorities have created a perfect storm. The leadership hasn't stepped in, the front office hasn't addressed it, and now the team is spiraling. So, where do they go from here? Can Stephanie White and the front office put the pieces back together? Or is this the moment the Fever lose more than games? They lose their identity? Stick around to see how it unfolds.